Arthurian League champions, last outpost of the Corinthian spirit of association football. But was it always thus?
Footage and photographs sensationally uncovered in the Harrow School archive has given us a fascinating insight into some of the personalities and events which shaped the formation of this venerable club in 1859.
It seems that one of the driving forces behind the club in its early days was Captain Quentin Bakewell Tart, hero of the 4th Battalion of the Royal Buffoons.
Bakewell Tart captained the Old Harrovians for an astonishing 37 years after the club was founded in 1859. In the early days, his workload was limited. Charterhouse not yet having been invented, OHAFC's only other rivals were Sheffield. Indeed, Sheffield being the only other team in existence, the club's fixture list was less than onerous.
All Bakewell Tart had to do, therefore, was organise the annual away trip up to Sheffield. This, it seems, was sometimes easier said than done. One of his diary entries for 1862 reads as follows.
Saturday, March the 12th. I arrive alone in Sheffield after an uneventful 4-day journey from my Bayswater lodgings. A courier arrives to inform me that my teammates are in difficulties. Mr. Brunt's stagecoach has broken down. Mr. Malloy's stagecoach has been intercepted by highwaymen just outside of Chigwell, and both his brain cells have been stolen. Mr. Richardson made it up to Nottingham before realising he had forgotten the kit and had to return to London to pick it up. Mr. Burke has had to withdraw as he is hosting an exhibition of his latest watercolours. And the Hoffen brothers are still partaking of breakfast in Fulham. What a collection of varlets, rogues and ne'er-do-wells I am surrounded by. Or rather, not surrounded by.
As well as being a captain and administrator of rare pedigree, Bakewell Tart was also, it seems, something of a philanthropist.
He took a particular interest in the fallen women of various small towns in Northern Europe. He undertook regular sponsored penny farthing rides to help them, and the last reported sighting of him was as he embarked on one such trip in 1896.
Reports say he became crippled by syphilis and was unable to return. Bakewell Tart did not have to manage alone, however. He was ably assisted by another key member of the OHAFC hierarchy, the Honourable Nicholas Cholmondeley Warner.
Cholmondeley Warner was one of the founders of the club and a well-known cyber geek, possessed of an inventive spirit, an eccentric dress sense, and very few mates. His contributions to the club were legendary. He developed an early forerunner of the website, a sophisticated device to communicate key messages about the club and to assist Bakewell Tart in establishing player availability. Less well known is the fact that Cholmondeley Warner invented the bench, an achievement of which he was so proud that he spent the rest of his career determinedly sitting on it, even when Bakewell Tart had only 3 fit players at his disposal.
Mr. Cholmondeley Warner, off the bench!
He spent his later years boasting to his son Maximus of his meagre achievements on the football field and complaining to his wife Rebecca of a series of non-existent sporting injuries.
Reference is also made in Bakewell Tart's diary to the Hoffen brothers.
Rupert and Harold Hoffen were better known for their decadent lifestyles than any achievement on the football pitch. Rupert, though of limited ability, was a great exponent of fair play, regularly squandering apparently unmissable goal-scoring chances in what can surely only have been a demonstration of Corinthian spirit on an unprecedented scale.
You blithering idiot, Rupert!
This sense of sportsmanship earned him the nickname Fairly, and he therefore became known as Rupert Fairly Often. Harold's similar profligacy in front of goal was simply due to ineptitude. His woeful scoring rate and relaxed attitude towards paying his subscriptions gained him the nickname Not That Often. After long but inglorious careers, the Hoffens left the OHAFC to join the circus, to which many considered they were better suited anyway. Having been clowns for some years, Harold turned himself into a trapeze artist of modest abilities. While Rupert acquired fame as the amazing red-faced man, delighting crowds by missing open goals on a specially constructed football pitch.
The quality of the footage of the OHAFC in its early days makes it difficult to identify the individuals involved with any certainty.
However, one unmistakable image shows the club's brilliant right winger, Count David von Lederhosen, carrying out the tireless tracking back for which he became known.
Get back! Come on!
Meanwhile, up front, it is just possible to discern Edward Quickstep Martins, a centre forward with a curious predilection for ballroom dancing.
Meanwhile, at the back were three youngsters with extraordinary stories to tell. Cavalrymen Milne, Rafferty and Or Something.
A few years before, these three had left Harrow and joined up to serve with the Light Brigade, all surviving the infamous charge which had ended in such carnage. All were fortunate in different ways. Rafferty, who as OH goalkeeper would become used to scenes of devastation unfolding in front of him, went bravely into battle. In a bizarre forerunner of things to come, he contrived to avoid making any contact with any shot the opposition aimed at him. As for Milne, the cavalry had been unable to find a horse big enough to carry him. And he therefore had to walk into the Valley of Death, arriving too late for the massacre and being mistaken by the Russians for a friendly but somewhat gormless tourist. And Or Something, rushing straight from work that morning, had mistakenly thought the charge was a home fixture and had spent the afternoon in full uniform on the playing fields of Harrow School, wondering where everyone was.
Hello!
And whether he should wait a bit longer or just go home.
Yet, amazingly, the exploits of these fine young men were not welcomed by everybody at Harrow.
In particular, the then headmaster of the school, the feared and reviled Reverend Roderick Woolsack, was implacably opposed to soccer, considering it to be a violent game played by oiks and ruffians.
Bloody footballers, get rid of the lot of them. Tiddlywinks, ice skating, that's what I say.
Nevertheless, in later years, Woolsack managed to reconcile his abhorrence of violence to the competitive values of the OHAFC. Indeed, sometimes too much so. Woolsack's long-suffering wife, Jacqueline, was a firm favourite among the players, renowned for the quality of the post-match teas she laid on, and her firm but fair assessment of the performance of referees.
Where's your monocle, ref?
Not to be forgotten for her significant role in the early history of OHAFC is the Woolsack's daughter, Harriet. Harriet also embraced the OHAFC, apparently rather more enthusiastically than her father, and rumour has it she was largely responsible for a significant increase in the fitness levels of the first 11 squad.
And so to the present. Thankfully, the club is in altogether more reliable hands under the careful and sober guidance of Michael Keelan. But what can we draw from this remarkable treasure trove of archive material?
That Harrovians, then as now, loved their sport. That they were capable of high levels of performance, but perhaps more importantly, of compensating for their shortcomings with an extraordinary level of teamwork, camaraderie, and good humour. These were qualities which were to stand the club in good stead down the years. The sort of qualities which have always enabled Harrovians to turn their hand to games which are thought to be the preserve of others. To play them fairly, and sometimes to play them just a little bit better than anyone else.
Lean up just a little bit, and then just collapse from there. And again.
Is that a joke? Is that a joke? You always do it again.
Please, once more.
Yeah, we bring the stars out. We bring the women and the cars and the cards out. Let's have a toast, a celebration, get a glass out. And we can do this until we pass out.
Let it rain, let it go away.
Yeah,
we won't come down until we hit the ground.
Yeah, pass out. Yeah, I'm in charge now. I'm a star and I brought my fucking cars down. I live a very, very, very wild lifestyle. Heidi and Audrina, eat your heart out. I used to listen to You Don't Wanna Bring Arms Out. I've got so many clothes, I keep some in my aunt's house. Disturbing London, baby, we about to branch out. Soon I'll be the king like Prince Charles. Yeah,
come down until we hit the ground.
Pass out. Look at me up in a cheeky bastard, man, and look at all the drama we started. Now I'm in here laying on my back, singing DJ, won't you give me one more track?